Yakunin proposed engineers could build a high-speed railway through the entirety of Siberia, dubbed the Trans-Eurasian Belt Development (TEPR), the final destination of which would be the mouth of an underwater tunnel crossing the Bering Strait. Highway 2 could be constructed adjacent to the tracks, effectively making ground transportation possible from Anchorage to Moscow, or for that matter, New York to Paris or Miami to Johannesburg. So in this video, we are going to talk about Russia's insane plan to build a superhighway to America. The video is going to be amazing, so make sure you stick to the end. Before starting the video, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to never miss out on any of our videos. The Trans-Eurasian Belt Development would see the construction of a vast motorway across Russia. It would connect with existing networks in Europe, making road trips to eastern Russia a far easier proposition. While roads do currently run across most of Russia, the quality tends to deteriorate the farther you travel from Moscow. A new high-speed train line would also be constructed, along with pipelines for gas and oil. If Vladimir Yakunin gets his way, that may become a reality. Yakunin, the head of the Russian railways, proposed the idea for the Trans-Siberian Highway that would connect London and Moscow to the US by way of Alaska at the Russian Academy of Science annual meeting last year. Yakunin's hypothetical plan for Trans-Eurasian Belt Development comes out to some 8,064 miles from London to Alaska via Moscow. The Russian leg of the trip is incredibly long, with the proposed highway covering an estimated 6,200 miles from the western region of Russia to Chukotka in Siberia. Dreams of bridging the east and west across the Bering Strait have been percolating since the 19th century. Cooper told that as early as 1846, then Colorado Territorial Governor William Gilpin invested in a study to build a railway up to northern Alaskan shores. And it turns out, even decades after being ousted from office, Gilpin was still publishing plans for the Cosmopolitan Railway, which would fuse together all continents chiefly via the Bering Strait. The 1860s saw a Russian-American company draw plans for an overland telegraph line, which was halted by the success of the Atlantic cables. 30 years later, the designer of the Golden Gate Bridge devoted his college thesis to blueprints of a Siberian-Alaskan railroad bridge. And in 1906, Tsar Nicholas II even approved the Bering Strait Bridge project, ultimately slashed at the onset of World War I. In fact, some folks, like historian and journalist William Engdahl, believe that British financial interests created the conditions for World War I in order to prevent the construction of a Bering Strait tunnel, as Atlantic-based financial interests worried about losing maritime economic dominance. The plan was developed by the transport boss alongside the rector of Moscow State University, Viktor Sedovnichi, and academic Gennady Osipov. Alaska is already connected to the contiguous U.S. states by Superhighway through Canada, along the Alaska Highway, though there is no existing passenger rail network. The Alaska Highway links to the U.S. interstate network, which can take motorists to all corners of the United States and beyond. In Eastern Europe, the European Union is separately drawing up plans for a high-speed rail corridor to connect the Baltic states to Western Europe's high-speed rail network, which runs through the Channel Tunnel from France to London. North American passenger railways are comparatively undeveloped, however. Plans drawn up by President Obama to develop high-speed rail corridors across the United States have stalled amid opposition. Any bridge would likely connect the Chukotka Peninsula in Russia and the Seward Peninsula in Alaska and could be supported by two small islands that lie in the middle of the strait. The Russian government has expressed public support for a number of proposals in recent years, but the ground has not been broken on any of them. China and Russia also unveiled a separate plan last year to connect Moscow and Beijing by high-speed rail, as well as a plan for a continent-spanning rail network that could cross the Bering Strait. The next question, then, which has been on the table now for 150 years, is whether anyone would be willing to invest in a project that could collectively cost trillions of dollars and whose anticipated economic yields would be a generation away. Let us know your opinion in the comment section below. This was all for today. Hope you liked the video. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Stay safe, and we will be back soon with another video.